All right. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another episode on the 𝚁𝚘𝚊𝚍 channel. We're doing a quick video here outside in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, because we have awesome weather today. It's like 60 degrees. The only reason I'm wearing a hoodie is because my shirt is dirty underneath and I'm too lazy to change. But I want to bring you guys a quick tip video on knots. One reason being, my next video edit is taking me forever. It's a banger. It's going to come out in another day or two. But with the Florida trip and everything, I've been slacking, and I want to make sure I give you guys some content. So, that being said, I was thinking, and I just watched a video on, you guys might watch Lojo's fishing channel, and his buddy 𝚂𝚘𝚊𝚍 kept breaking off. And he was using a very popular knot, one of my favorite knots, one of the first knots I learned, and that is the Palomar knot, guys. The Palomar knot, I mean, you can just about use it for everything. I used to think you could use it for everything, but now I have a couple different views on that, which I'm going to share with you here now. But one major tip to that Palomar knot, which is what I think 𝚂𝚘𝚊𝚍 or Ayo, however he pronounces his name. I love the dude. He's hilarious. But I think one of the problem he was having is a problem that I noticed I started having once I inspected, and I saw another video on this, so that's why I'm sharing this. The Palomar knot is great, but you have to tie it right. I know it seems super easy, but I'm going to show you here. I have a reel with 25-pound line. I want to use real line so you guys can actually see what it looks like instead of using big rope and stuff. So we're going to start off, we're going to tie the knot, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. There's one part of the knot that you have to make sure you get right, because if not, it could also be deadly. It could be its own worst enemy. So let's start out by tying a Palomar knot. Also, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, show some love for your boy, like this video, since this is a tip video and we want as many people to see this as we can. Make sure you like, comment, just get real reactive with the video so you make sure that it gets shared and it gets sent out into the world. So, I mean, share it if you please, but share it if you please. Jeez, this is a one-take video, y'all. Y'all are gonna see it exactly how it was shot. I'm not editing it. I want y'all to have this content. But anyways, we just got a regular little top water, little prop bait, one of my favorites for clear water. But like you said, we're gonna tie us a Palomar knot, which you go through once, back through. Of course, since this line isn't on a rod, it's being a pain. All right, there we go. Let's stretch it out a little bit. All right, so we have the beginnings. Do we? Yes. It's just a little crooked. So, go through once. Should have picked a different bait. Go through twice. Okay. So we come through here with the Palomar knot. Alright, you guys see that there. And with baits like these, especially when you have treble hooks, you notice a lot of times you have to make a big old loop because you got to make sure you can get over that bait. So I got a nice big old loop to get over the bait, and this is where the problem comes in. Now you get to this part to cinching it down, get it wet. All right, guys, now this is very important. You see this loop I'm holding in my hand, see that there? Now a trick I use to keep it from doing what I don't want it to do is I hold it in my pinky as I cinch down. But if not, I got lucky there. This line's a little stiff, so it's sitting up. But as you pull that tight, see, it kind of ran away from us there. But see, there's that loop still. As you pull it tight, you want to make sure, see how that's going to come down and sit on top of that knot? I don't know if you guys could see that. Let it focus. See how that loop, this is doing what it's supposed to. That loop is going to come down and sit on top of that knot once you cinch everything together. I don't want to do it all the way because I want you guys to see. But see how that loop, you want that loop to be on the very top piece of line. So it's sitting on top of the knot when you cinch it down. Now what happens sometimes, that loop will, if the line's not stiff or whatever, if you've been fishing the line for a while, or sometimes if you don't pay attention, especially, it happens a lot when you have to make that big loop, because when you're cinching it down, it goes short real quick and you don't really see what happens. But sometimes that loop, I think it didn't happen with this too, because it's 25-pound line. With the smaller the line, you probably have that problem more. But if that loop isn't sitting on top and it's sitting on the side or the bottom, or it's not on top of the knot, it'll actually act almost like a knife. And as soon as you pull tight, that loop pulls tight. And if it's, like I said, if it's not on top of the knot, it'll actually snap that line. It'll pull on itself and cause it to stress break. You'll snap right at the knot every time, especially if you're fishing. They were in that video that I was talking about where I saw them break off. They were fishing, you know, worms on the bottom where you got to give a good hook set. So especially on something where if you have to give it a good hook set and that knot's not sitting right, guys, like I said, see, we'll cinch this one down and see it did that. I don't know how good you could see that, but see how that loop is sitting on top of that knot? Oh, so perfect. If that doesn't happen, guys, it could cut that line right in half, right as soon as you put any type of tension on it. So that's why it's very important when you're tying the Palomar knot. For it to be the strongest knot, you have to make sure you're tying the strongest knot, because if that loop's not on top, it's not a Palomar knot anymore. It's some other version that is not going to work out for you. I promise it is not going to work out for you. Now, some views I have on the Palomar knot, I used to tie it for everything. I'm telling you, everything. And then I started to notice something. I started to experience with other knots, and what I noticed it on first was the good old spinnerbait. Here's a little Guggenbait spinnerbait. What I noticed is when I tie a Palomar knot on a spinnerbait or a buzz bait or a bait, especially like swim baits and baits that I want them to stay dead straight coming through the water, I notice sometimes when I tie a Palomar knot, more often than not, that knot, I swear it makes, because of how if you pay attention to how you tie that knot, I swear when you pull tension on it, it almost causes the bait to turn. And some baits, it even gives me too much or an unwanted action of the bait that's not natural. So what I did, just to test my theory out, I started tying uni knots on my spinner baits and my swim baits and all the other baits that I want to come straight. Even though I'm not as good at tying that, but I'm getting better. And you know what? I noticed a difference right away, especially on the spinner baits, man. So if you're having that problem, I'm not gonna say that's guaranteed what it is, but it was my problem. I don't know. I don't think I was tying the Palomar knot wrong. I mean, I've been doing it a while, so. But like baits like S-wavers, glide baits, this style of swim bait with that flat tail, I like to tie the uni knot. Now, if we're throwing, you know, your open hook or your swim bait hook, like I'll still tie a Palomar knot with these. But I don't know why, guys. I just noticed with this style of bait, if I tie, maybe try at home, comment below if you noticed the same thing. But I noticed, especially with spinner baits, if I tie a freaking Palomar knot on that spinner bait, it's gonna come flat through the water, and it just dries. You're basically reeling a wet sock through the water. I mean, if the bait's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So, but yeah, guys, that was a quick video. I just wanted to go over that with the knot. So make sure when you tie your Palomar knot, you make sure that final loop, do like me, use your pinky to hold it up there, that knot slides down on top. Because otherwise, like you've seen in the video, in Lojo's video, if you haven't, go to Lojo's video. It's his most recent video upload. I'm uploading this video today, so it would have been yesterday or the day before. And I mean, I can almost promise you that's, if not all of the breakoffs, that was a good reason to most of those breakoffs, unless he was just completely tying a different knot and didn't realize it. But that is one thing I physically noticed myself, so that's why I wanted to share with you guys. And also be on the lookout. I got a kayak bass fishing video on a new lake. It's dropping here in another day or two. I'm so picky with my work. Plus I went to Florida for a week, so that's why we're a little behind. I need editing help. Yo, if any of y'all have any tricks for editing, or if anybody wants to help your boy edit, I got tons of content I need to get out to y'all. So, and also my goal this year is to get way over 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 followers on Instagram. I want to blow past that, but for right now, that's my short-term goal. So help me get to both. If you're not followed or subscribed, let's go. Subscribe to the vibes, y'all. Join the B&B family, and we will see you here in a couple days in the new video. Yo, it's a banger.